Chapter 1. Welcome to Oakwood. Nestled on the outskirts of a picturesque rural town, the Oakwood Correctional Facility presents an unexpected contrast to the grim exterior typically associated with prisons. Once an old reform school, Oakwood has been transformed into a low-security facility that emphasizes rehabilitation over punishment. Its blooming gardens and vibrant community kitchen create an environment where hope thrives, even within concrete walls. In this unique setting, the stories of the inmates emerge, each voice a testament to the human experience behind bars. Through their diary entries, listeners are introduced to Raphael, a former English teacher grappling with guilt, Yamila, a passionate artist seeking solace in her art, and Eli, a young man caught in the cycle of crime. As their lives intertwine, the power of storytelling becomes a beacon of connection, illuminating the path toward healing and understanding amidst the shadows. Welcome to Oakwood, where the journey of redemption begins. Chapter 2. Raphael's Regret. As I sit in this dimly lit cell, memories of my former life wash over me like waves of a relentless tide. Once I was a passionate high school English teacher, inspiring young minds with the beauty of literature. But in a moment of distraction, a phone call that shattered my world, I made a choice that changed everything. The accident claimed a life, and in an instant my dreams turned to ashes, replaced by the stark confines of Oakwood Correctional Facility. In my diary, I pour out my guilt and shame, battling the relentless echoes of what I've lost. Writing has become my lifeline, a means to navigate the labyrinth of my emotions. As I delve into the power of storytelling, I discover a profound truth. While my past will forever haunt me, the words I write may offer a glimmer of hope for others, and perhaps even for myself. Chapter 3. Jamila's Canvas. In the vibrant confines of Oakwood Correctional Facility, Jamila picks up her paintbrush, her lifeline amid the starkness of prison life. Once a struggling artist charged with a non-violent offense, she channels her emotions onto blank canvases, transforming pain into beauty. In her diary, Jamila reflects on her journey from despair to self-discovery, exploring layers of her identity that society tried to erase. Art becomes her sanctuary, a means to articulate her dreams of freedom and the essence of her spirit. Each stroke tells a story of loss, strength, and resilience, inviting those around her to see beyond her crime. As she prepares for an upcoming art exhibit, Jamila knows that sharing her work is not merely about showcasing talent, it's about reclaiming her narrative. In her quiet moments, she vows to inspire others, believing that creativity can break down walls, both literal and metaphorical, in the hearts of her fellow inmates. Chapter 4. Eli's Burden. As I sit in my cell, the weight of my past feels heavier than the iron bars that confine me. I grew up in a neighborhood overshadowed by crime and poverty, where hustling became a way of life, a path I naively thought would lead to acceptance and success. Instead, it led me here, a place where dreams fade into shadows. My diary is my refuge, a canvas where I pour out my pain, regrets, and longing for a better future. In my recent entries, I find myself grappling with feelings of hopelessness, questioning if change is truly possible. The streets I left behind seem to call to me, but I yearn for a different narrative. Poetry is whispering in my ear, urging me to transform my despair into words that resonate. Maybe, just maybe, through writing, I can reclaim my story and inspire others to rise above the cycle of violence and despair. Chapter 5. Margaret's Perspective. As the sun filters through the barred windows of Oakwood Correctional Facility, Margaret sits in the circle of her weekly group therapy session, the air thick with unspoken words and shared burdens. A passionate advocate for mental health, she understands that beneath each inmate's hardened exterior lies a story marked by trauma and pain. Each diary entry she reads reveals heartache, family estrangements, childhood abuse, and societal neglect. Margaret listens intently, providing a safe space for vulnerability. She encourages candid discussions, recognizing that the healing process begins with acknowledgement. It's okay to feel, she tells them, as emotions surface and walls slowly crumble. Through her eyes, we witness the raw humanity of each inmate, their struggles illuminating the shadows cast by incarceration. Margaret's unwavering compassion fosters trust, empowering the inmates to confront their pasts. Her role transcends that of a therapist. She becomes their champion in a world that often overlooks the mental health struggles of the incarcerated. Chapter 6. The Power of Words. In the heart of Oakwood, Raphael and Jamila breathe life into a shared vision, a writing workshop designed to empower their fellow inmates. As Raphael reads aloud from his own diary, the room fills with a palpable energy. The weight of unspoken stories hangs in the air. Diary entries become not just reflections, but bridges between isolated souls seeking connection. Jamila, inspired by the transformative power of words, encourages participants to delve deep into their narratives, reassuring them that vulnerability is strength. Through writing, they explore their pasts, pain, regret, and dreams, and discover their voices. As the workshop thrives, raw emotions surface, laughter mingles with tears, and hearts begin to heal. Together, Raphael and Jamila foster a safe space where inmates, once defined by their mistakes, redefine themselves through the beauty of storytelling. It is in these shared words that hope begins to blossom, illuminating their lives behind bars. Chapter 7. Finding Voice Through Poetry. Eli stared down at the blank page, the weight of his past pressing heavily on his chest. In his diary, he captured the tumult of emotions swirling within him, the anger, sorrow, and a flicker of hope. As he delved deeper into poetry, he discovered an unexpected refuge. Each verse became a lifeline, allowing him to confront memories he had long tried to bury. He began sharing his poems with fellow inmates during writing workshops, his voice trembling yet resolute. Slowly, Eli's words transformed into bridges, connecting him with others who carried similar burdens. Their stories intertwined, and he realized he was not alone in his struggles. As he penned lines about resilience and redemption, the poetry poured forth like a healing balm, illuminating the dark corners of his mind. Through this newfound passion, Eli embraced a narrative of transformation, no longer defined by his past, but empowered by the voice he had discovered within. Chapter 8. Mental Health Matters. In the muted light of the therapy room, Margaret fosters an environment where vulnerability becomes strength. Her sessions are a sanctuary for the inmates, the walls adorned with the echoes of shared secrets and unprocessed pain. Through her diary entries, Margaret reflects on the recurring themes of trauma that weave through the lives of those she meets, like Eli's past that looms like a shadow overhead, and Jamila's struggles with her sense of self. Each session reveals raw emotions as inmates confront issues of loss, abandonment, and guilt, barriers that impede their healing. Margaret's compassionate guidance encourages them to articulate their feelings, providing language where there was once silence. As they pour out their stories, a collective healing begins, unveiling scars that need to be acknowledged for true recovery. It's not just therapy, it's the genesis of hope, illuminating the path for each inmate navigating the labyrinth of their minds while behind bars. Chapter 9. Building Community. In the tight confines of Oakwood Correctional Facility, a remarkable transformation takes place as inmates begin to share their stories through Raphael and Jamila's workshop. The diary entries reflect a growing camaraderie that blossoms among men and women who once viewed each other with skepticism, revealing the power of vulnerability. Eli writes about the first time he felt safe enough to share a poem about his struggles. "We laughed, we cried," he recalls, "and for the first time I didn't feel alone." Jamila, too, expresses how art becomes a bridge, connecting souls separated by their pasts yet united in their hopes for the future. As each inmate opens up, barriers crumble and friendships form, fostering a sense of belonging and understanding. With every shared narrative, they affirm their humanity, reminding each other that beyond the labels of criminal, they are artists, dreamers, and storytellers. Here, within these walls, community begins to thrive. Chapter 10. Art as Liberation. In the dim light of the art studio, Jamila's hands move deftly, crafting vibrant strokes on a canvas that speaks of her longing for freedom and identity. As the walls of Oakwood Correctional Facility begin to fill with her artwork, she feels a flicker of hope, an affirmation of her existence beyond the labels of inmate or nonviolent offender. Her vision is to create an art exhibit showcasing the diverse talents of fellow inmates, each piece a testament to their struggles, dreams, and resilience. With encouragement from Raphael and Eli, Jamila rallies her peers, transforming the workshop into a hub of creativity. As each artist shares their unique story through brush and color, bonds deepen and fear dissipates, replaced by a sense of camaraderie. The exhibit becomes a celebration of their shared humanity, a way to connect with the outside world and remind everyone, including themselves, that beauty can emerge from the darkest places. Chapter 11. Eli's Talent Show. Eli's excitement was palpable as he stood before a group of inmates pitching his vision for a talent show, an event where their stories could take center stage. "This is our chance to show the world," he declared, his voice steady yet filled with passion. The initial reactions ranged from skepticism to curiosity. Undeterred, Eli shared his own journey through poetry, emphasizing the healing power of expression. Slowly, a spark ignited among his peers. Laughter and encouragement began to fill the room. Together they brainstormed acts that showcased their unique talents, from spoken word to music. As the weeks rolled on, Eli faced setbacks. Doubts crept in, and old fears resurfaced. But the support of newfound friends, including Raphael and Jamila, fueled his determination. This talent show wasn't just about performing. It was about reclaiming their narratives, building camaraderie, and shining a light on their shared experiences. Eli's vision was clearer than ever. They would rise together, united in their stories. Chapter 12. The Talent Show Preparations. As the day of the talent show approaches, excitement buzzes through the corridors of Oakwood Correctional Facility. Eli's diary reflects the mixed emotions swirling among the inmates: anticipation, anxiety, and a newfound sense of purpose. Each entry captures the vibrant energy in the art studios and workshops as friendships deepen and creativity flourishes. Jamila fine-tunes her piece, weaving personal stories into her art, while Raphael encourages others to embrace their narratives through writing. In therapy sessions, Margaret watches as inmates share their fears and dreams, transforming their vulnerability into strength. The prison feels alive with rehearsals. Laughter and encouragement echo against stone walls. Eli, caught between nervousness and exhilaration, notes how performances are no longer just skill displays, they are acts of bravery. As he observes fellow inmates stepping beyond their comfort zones, the countdown to the talent show becomes a journey of self-discovery. Each moment spent preparing not only rebuilds confidence, but cultivates a sense of community that promises healing and hope. Chapter 13. A Night of Revelation. The night of the talent show had arrived, bringing an electric atmosphere to Oakwood Correctional Facility. Inmates gathered in the courtyard, their faces lit with anticipation under the dim lights. As the stage unfolded, Raphael stood nervously at the back, feeling the weight of his commitment to support his fellow inmates. One by one, each performer took the stage. Eli recited a haunting poem about lost dreams, his voice steady, despite the emotions surging inside him. Jamila showcased her powerful spoken word piece, intertwining her personal struggles with a message of resilience. The crowd erupted in applause, their cheers breaking down the walls that separated them. As tears flowed and laughter echoed, so many stories unfolded under the starlit sky. Each act was a revelation, a glimpse into the souls behind the bars, showcasing their pain, hope, and unyielding spirit. In that moment, the boundary between inmate and audience faded away, leaving only shared humanity.